Hello, salespeople. I want to talk to you today about your role as a sales leader, what it is and what it is not in its purest form. So who am I? I am a sales coach and trainer. I work with some of the world's very best salespeople. I see excellent salespeople and excellent sales leaders in their element. I'm also a salesperson in the trenches with the rest of you. So I sell myself and my services to my clients in order for them to become customers of mine so that I can coach them. All right, I want to talk about what sales leadership is not. Sales leadership is not a pathway for your very best salespeople to be promoted in a role where they can then tell their former peers how to do a good job on the sales role that presumably this former salesperson, now sales leader, has apparently mastered. That is not the role. And what we see across all organizations, all industries, and for good reason, is that we promote this star salesperson, put them in a role, and then what we don't take the time to do is to really work with them to develop out a brand new skill set, because the skill set that made you a great salesperson is not the same skill set that will make you a great sales leader. And where I see the breakdown happen most fundamentally is the transition or the shift from being someone who owns your book of business and really owns your own success as an independent producer to now having to shift that ownership onto the salespeople that you manage. Let me give you an example. I work with a sales leader who recently was promoted to the role. And one of the hardest things that she has had to work through is the fact that in order for her to reach her goals, which is our team collectively has to meet certain numbers, she cannot step in and do the work for her team, even though that would get her to her numbers as a team. Because if she does that, what she's missed is her entire purpose as a leader, which is to make her team self-sufficient. Your role as a sales leader is to make your team self-sufficient. And this role, I use this one sales leader as a recent example, but she is one of many, and it comes for really good reason. Nothing wrong with her. Right? It's a very, very common thing that we see because in salespeople who are really good, who become independent producers and are very strong at that, they tend to have a lot of independence, a lot of competition, a lot of this drive to meet their numbers. And the easiest and the fastest way to do that is to basically tell your team exactly what you would do or effectively do it for them. What happens in the long run is that we're actually failing the team because our job, no more and no less, is to make those team members self-sufficient. And everything else that we do as sales leaders is supporting that goal, holding them accountable, giving good feedback, coaching them through specific deals. All of that is supporting this goal of helping them become self-sufficient so that longer term, you all can reach your goals as a team. So this is a whole lot easier said than done. I promise you, I understand. It is so much easier, especially when we're all pressed for time. When one of your direct reports comes to you and says, hey, I've got this sticky situation with a customer, how would you handle this? Or this is what they're asking, how would you handle this? For me as a sales leader, and I have been a sales leader, to just say, well, here's what I would do. Here's what you should do. Instead though, and this requires us to practice, to debrief and go, oh, I wish I had done this, and then to come back and to keep trying that skill again as a new sales leader. Instead, what we need to be asking is, that's a great question. I want to know what your ideas are. What are your options on how you could respond to this? And which one stands out to you as the best option and why? My job is to develop them and their critical thinking skills and their problem solving skills around deal level problems. My job is not to tell them what to do because I am now robbing them of the opportunity to develop that skill and that confidence that they need to become really successful independent producers themselves. And something shifted for me, and I see it shift for a lot of the sales leaders that we work with, once I started to believe that and really embrace the fact that me telling them what to do was actually not in my direct reports' best interest. And because of that, I've got to be really really committed to using my time with them to coach them through practicing their own problem solving skills. So you can do this as leaders by setting expectations. Even if you haven't before and you want to start now, it's really easy to kind of help yourself and have them help you by saying, I'm trying to get better as a leader because I am really committing to the idea that my job is to make you self-sufficient, which means next time each one of you comes to me with a problem in your one-on-one or as a one-off, I want you to come to me with a problem and come to me with the ideas that you have, the different routes that we could go so that we can talk through those together. I want to help you develop your confidence in your decision-making skills so that the next question you ask me is a different question, that we're solving another problem, that over time you were able to run your book of business without having to lean on someone else. That is my goal for all of you because I want to see all of you succeed. You as leaders can set that expectation. I have also worked with sales leaders who have told me, well, sometimes, Emily, they really don't know the answer to the things that I bring to them. Totally agree. Totally agree. It happens. It happens. So here's what we do. I understand that. I understand that this is new and that's why you're coming to me. And what I want you to do is spend some time coming up with some ideas. I really want you to think hard about this. Maybe talk to some of your colleagues, lean on your resources, because I want you to really think through this. And maybe I give them a hint of the direction that I want them to go, maybe not, but I want them to really think about this. Now, there is a little bit of a line. When somebody's brand spanking new, you got to tell them what to do. But once we've gotten through that training phase and now we're really coaching, it is our responsibility to help them become better problem solvers. And I'll wrap this up by sharing that as I talk to sales leaders and as I follow my peers and the experts in this space, one of whom is Dr. Ryan Mullins out of Clemson. If you don't follow him and his Substack and you're in sales as a leader or a thinker, absolutely follow him. But what seems to be bubbling up is that what will be the top skill for salespeople, strong salespeople of the future, it's not actually your ability to embrace AI. I mean, that's up there, it's on the list. But what we're seeing is that the top skill is problem solving. It's that figure it out ability skill that we need to be really successful professionals, really in any role, but in particular in sales roles where every day for us is different than the day before. We're always being faced with new challenges that prospects throw at us. There are always changing market conditions. It is a wild ride, this profession. So think about your role as a sales leader as developing the salespeople of the future by helping them become better problem solvers. Okay, I hope this helps. If you have a sales or sales leadership topic that you would like to see me address, let me know what it is and we will talk about it here. We can build this channel together. I want to bring you very real, practical sales advice that actually helps you and your team grow and develop, that's just removed of all of the nonsense that is already out there. Remember, the world's best salespeople and the best sales managers, they are not magically born with this gift. They are trained, they are developed, and I train them. Good selling.